Okay, so yes, the last video, we're doing this abstract drawing using analogous colors, and I showed you how to draw the drawing last time. And you should finish drawing out this in Sharpie, and then I started working on this one. I wanted you to see it with the lines all completed, and then I started working on this one. And I want you to notice on this that I have shadows in mine. And I did that by using complementary colors on top of the analogous colors. So if you look, these are colors next to each other on the color wheel. So I have yellow, green. I have green. I have blue, green. I have blue. And I have blue violet. So I go all the way 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 colors next to each other on the color wheel. Really, I could have gone one more to violet, and I would have had all the cool colors on the color wheel. So, but they're still next to each other, so that counts as analogous. So we're doing analogous colors on the color wheel. I just wanted to color some so that you could see how I go through the process. So you want to make sure that you want to balance out the colors so that not all the colors are right next to each other. So that you're not putting the same color right next to the same color. So in other words, I wouldn't want to put blue-green right here because I have blue-green right here. And I don't want to put it right here either or right here. So I might want to put it right here so that it's not just right next to it. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and if you'll notice, I am shading. Well, I'm really just coloring it right now. You have to determine where you want shadows too, but I really think shadows on this really makes it pop, and I'll go over that with you in just a minute. So I'm just going to shade in this color, and it's going to go all the way down to here. I want you to notice how short my strokes are. I like to hold my pencil this way because it keeps me from making it look scratchy looking, and I can go as fast as I want and still be neat and do short little strokes. Like if you can tell, I go like in little circles or little ovals. So remember, we're doing analogous colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. And then when we shade, we're going to use the color's complementary color on top of it. I could really color all day long and just be relaxed. This is something you should do while you're watching TV or Netflix, or maybe even listen to music while you're doing it and just kind of zone out and enjoy it. I put this under the table so that, under my paper, so that I won't pick up imperfections like scratches on the table on my paper. All right, so now if you want to make it even darker, you just keep going back over it. It's called layering. Okay. Okay, let's say that I want this to have a shadow right up under this line. Okay, so because I have all this light source, if you look at this, the light source is coming from above this way, and you could see cast shadows under things. Okay, so there's a cast shadow under here, so this looks like this is above this, overlapping that. There's a cast shadow under here, a cast shadow under here, a cast shadow here and there, just so that it looks like the light source is coming from the same direction. So let's say I want this to be a little darker. I'm going back in and filling in some of the white spots with this, doing some more layering. I really like how this is coming out, because if you take your time, you'll get this nice smooth texture, or you can see the tooth of the paper, like the texture of the paper through it, which is fine. You just want it to be nice and solid. Okay, now there's different techniques you can do to make shadows. One thing that we're going to do is we're going to bear down a little bit harder right here. Determine how wide you want your shadow to come out. So you can already see that it's a little bit darker just by pressing down harder onto the paper with my pencil. Now I'm going to take blue-green's complementary color. Complementary colors are across from each other on the color wheel. So if you look at blue-green, here's blue-green right here, because green is here and blue is here. Blue-green's in the middle. It is directly across, so that's red-orange, because that's orange and that's red, and red-orange is in the middle. So I'm going to use red-orange on top of this. And I'm using the same materials my Art 2 students use. They have Crayola color pencils, and you can see how nice it's coming out. Right now, the Art 3 kids have Prismacolor pencils, and hopefully we will have that in the budget next year for Art 3 kids. So I'm going to use this to shade. It's just so nice to use the colors, complementary color, because it's not just blah, bland, just adding black, which is a neutral. This is adding another color, which makes it richer looking. A richer color. Okay. I think I would like a shadow right here too. Where's my... Just a little bit right here. You want to kind of balance out the shadows too, just to make it part of the variety in the artwork. So I made that darker with just bear down with my blue-green. Now I'm going over this with the red-orange. And then I'm going to use my colorless blender, and it needs sharpening. Okay. This thing is magic. So I'm just going to use this to blend the whole. It just fills in all the little white spaces. It makes it look nice. Just keep shading it in. Now, those of you who really are into art and you find that you enjoy this coloring and you are thinking about Christmas gifts that people could get you, you might ask for Prismacolor color pencils, because they are amazing. But you can see how these Crayolas work. They're nice too. I mean, they're nice, but the Prismacolors are brilliant, more brilliant. They don't fade as quickly, and they don't break as much when you're the points don't break as much. One secret to having color pencils that last too is that you need a decent pencil sharpener. Okay, I'm going to do one more color, and then I'll cut y'all loose. I'm going to put green right here, yellow-green right here. Now these are the same colored pencils that I sent home with y'all. With my art twos. So I'm going to color this in. Notice how I'm using the side of my pencil point again. Now I could do it with my pencil point, but I feel like it takes a little longer that way if you want it to look as nice as it does this way. You get a little bit different texture. Notice I am going pretty darn fast, but I'm coloring short little strokes and small little circles and ovals so that it kind of layers itself on top of itself. Okay, so I've got that filled in pretty solid. Now I want to have a shadow here. All right, so I'm going to go a little bit darker. I want it to match up with the shadow that's right there. And then I'm going to look at my color wheel and see what is directly across from yellow green, and that would be blue violet. No, I'm sorry, red violet. Red violet's across from blue, yellow green. So I don't have a red violet. You can use the raspberry, I think is what it's called, or you can do a little bit of put a little violet down and some red on top of it. So this is the closest thing to red violet that I gave y'all. If not, you just put some red and violet together, and that gives me a good shadow. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy colorless blender and blend it out. Now, if I wanted to, I could put another shadow right here. I think I'll wait later and determine where I want more shadows, because I've been very intentional about where I've been putting shadows. Like on this, I didn't want, like I could have put a shadow going across this whole line, but I wanted to break it up and give it more variety. All right, I think I'm going to call this video done and cut you loose. Enjoy it, okay? Just do the best you can and enjoy it. See you next video.